that I wander. Turn the mountain that I can't climb. Oh, you are with me, never leave me. Oh, 'cause there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I got a no church choir singing in my soul. I got a sweet salvation and it's beautiful. I've got a heart overflowing 'cause I've been restored. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Clap your hands and stomp your feet till you find that gospel beat, 'cause it's all you'll ever need, all you'll ever need. Clap your hands and stomp your feet till you find that gospel beat, 'cause it's all you'll ever need, all you'll ever need. I've got an old church choir singing in my soul. I got a sweet salvation and it's beautiful. I've got an old church choir singing in my soul. I've got a sweet salvation and it's beautiful. I've got a heart overflowing 'cause I've been restored. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Oh, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy.
Rise Up on Wednesday morning with Steve and Tim. And if your pet could talk, what would you ask it? We'll ask you just after 6:30.
And when you don't get what you wanted, you get what you didn't know you wanted. At 9:15, that's Wednesday morning for you when you rise up with Steve and Tim on Family Life.
The weapon may be formed, but it won't prosper. When the darkness falls, it won't prevail. 'Cause the God I serve knows only how to triumph. My God will never fail. Oh, my God will never fail. I'm gonna see a
you see a victory? I saw a victory. It's Elevation Worship with Main and Gable, and you're listening to Family Life.
We're watching a few issues on your roads in the Buffalo area. Thruway westbound, just after exit 52. That's the Walden Ave exit. Slow there. And then on 198 East, just beyond Delaware Avenue, there's a crash with the left lane blocked. On 190 southbound after exit 28, a crash. And then on Rochester's east side, 590 southbound at Elmwood Avenue, there is an accident with the two right lanes and the shoulder closed. So that could be a little bit of a slow down on your ride home today. No matter what traffic you're facing, you can have the joy.
So I rejoice and be glad, rejoice and be glad in it. And this is where I believe that you are more than enough for me. 'Cause you are faithful to your promise, you are strong when I am weak. When I'm standing in your presence, I have everything I need. The joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Oh, my soul, bless His name. All that is within me say, the joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Oh, Jesus, come one day. You are worthy of all my praise. You are faithful to your promise. You are strong when I am weak. And when I'm standing in your presence, I have everything I need. The joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. He's more than a thing. The joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Sing, oh my soul, bless His name. All that is within me say, the joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. So heavy eyes like a river overflowing. Holy Spirit, pour out within me. Holy Spirit, the joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. He's more than a thing. The joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Say, oh my soul, bless His name. All that is within me say, oh my soul, bless His name. All that is within me say, the joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord is my
It's the joy with the Belonging Company on Family Life. Thanks for listening to Main and Gable on your ride home from work this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I open it at church. Isn't that enough?
They did the most comprehensive study in history about the effect of Bible reading on a Christian's life, on a person's life. And here's what they found, and I need you to let this sink in. If somebody was found to read the Bible one time a week, just one out of 7, it had made no difference in their life at all. If somebody got up and that 2 times a week, they read the Bible 2 out of 7, it had, again, almost no difference at all. If somebody got to the spot where they were consistently reading the Word 3 times a week, there was a little difference, just barely, a little blip on the graph. But when somebody they crossed the Rubicon to reading the Bible at least 4 times a week, all of a sudden what this study showed is that person was 228% more likely to share their faith, 407% more likely to memorize Scripture, 59% less likely to view pornography, and at least 30% less likely to struggle with loneliness, depression, or anxiety. Listen, man, there is a power to getting in the Word. You get in the Word, and all of a sudden the Word starts getting in you. It's going to get on you. It starts changing things. What God does is He's like a surgeon He starts cutting things out of your life that are destroying you. When the Word and not the world becomes the majority of your week, your life will start to change.
I talk about grace, I talk about love, I talk about faith, but some days I don't have enough. I talk about forgiveness, still learning how to give it. Lord, I need your strength to live what I believe. I want my life to preach, every breath, every beat. I want my life to preach, when I'm strong, when I'm weak. Through valley lows and mountain highs, every moment testifies. Further than my words could ever reach. Lord, I want my life to preach. I talk about peace, and I talk about hope. I talk about serving others, but most days I don't. And I talk about freedom, but get lost in religion. Lord, give me strength to live what I believe. 'Cause I want my life to preach, every breath, every beat. I want my life to preach, when I'm strong, when I'm weak. Through valley lows and mountain highs, every moment testifies. Further than my words could ever reach. Lord, I want my life to preach. Turn my days into your canvas. Let me stay open-handed with a humble heart to serve the least of these. I want my faith to be in action, like this flame of compassion. Be louder than every word I speak. I want my life to preach. 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 Every breath, every beat. I want my life to preach. When I'm strong, when I'm weak. Through valley lows and mountain highs, every moment testifies. Further than my words could ever reach. Lord, I want my life to preach. I want my life to preach. I want my life. Lord, I want my life to preach. I want my life to preach. I want my life. I want my life to preach. Every breath, every beat. Lord, I want my life to preach.
Now that you're here, it's a party. You're listening to Main and Gable on Family Life.
There's got to be more than going back and forth, from doing right to doing wrong. 'Cause we were taught that's who we are. Well, come on, get in line right behind me. You along with everybody, thinking there's worth in what you do. Then like a hero takes the stage when we're on the edge of our seat, saying it's too late. Well, let me introduce you to church like this and wrap him up in righteousness. That's exactly what he did. No matter the bumps, no matter the bruises, no matter the scars, still the truth is the cross has made. The cross has made you flawless. No matter the hurt or how deep the wound is, no matter the pain, still the truth is the cross has made. The cross has made you flawless. Take a breath, smile and say right here, right now, I'm okay because the cross was enough. And like a hero who takes the stage when we're on the edge of our seat, saying it's too late. Let me introduce you to grace, grace, God's grace. No matter the bumps, no matter the bruises, no matter the scars, still the truth is the cross has made. The cross has made you flawless. Made you flawless. And no matter the hurt or how deep the wound is, no matter the pain, still the truth is the cross has made. The cross has made you flawless. No matter what they say or what you think you are, the call is made. He made you flawless. He made you
Jesus has cast your sins as far as the east is from the west, and he remembers them no more. In his eyes, you're flawless. We're Maine and Gable, and this is Family Life.
Confession.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes I look forward to Sunday chicken wing dip more than I look forward to Sunday communion bread.
Well, I mean, the chicken wing dip, that is pretty
but
good stuff.
This is a metaphor. Okay, it's not about the literal, things. It's the fact that I will sometimes be more pumped about the afternoon football games than I am about the morning at church. And maybe you're really passionate about football. Go Bills. I mean, it happens this time of year. And it's not that football is evil. Like, you don't want to say, there's no football.
It's blasted dark.
But it cannot outshine Jesus in my heart. I don't think God is saying, hey, I want you to like football less. I think he's just saying, hey, you got to love me more. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. That, by the way, is good. It's good.
It's good. The Bills are going to the playoffs.
Crowds go wild.
This week on an all-new season of The Pun Shop.
Wow, this is pretty nice. We've got the lead up, the tongue-in-cheek punchline. I think it's worth like $15.
Clients bring their family heirloom jokes to see what they can get for them.
Look, man, I'm not an expert on knock-knock jokes. Let me get a friend of mine to come in and take a look at it. Dude,
Hey, this is a classic dad joke. See here? You got the trademark? I think you got something worth at least $20 to $25.
Can they strike a deal, or will they strike out?
so what are you looking to get for this?
Yeah, I like the sound of 25.
Oof. Look, the demand for these kinds of things isn't that high. There's a lot of these out there, and I've got to make a profit. I can do 12.
Yeah, no good.
The Pun Shop, this Friday night.
God's got a deal for you, and it's no joke. It's eternal life. A message from Family Life.
What can $1 do? It won't get you a plane ticket for your vacation. It won't even cover the fee to check your bag. But $1 can change someone's eternal destination. Your $1 a day partnership with Family Life makes it possible for this ministry to share the message of hope that we have in Jesus through a network of contemporary Christian radio stations across New York and Pennsylvania, and through our podcasts and digital music streams that are heard around the world. The Lord has raised up Family Life to grow followers of Jesus. The support of listeners like you is vital to continuing that mission, and $1 a day is a small price to pay for eternity in heaven for someone in your family, a friend, neighbor, or even a total stranger. You can learn more about the impact of $1 a day partnership with Family Life on our website, familylife.org/dollar. Thank you from listener-supported Family Life.
Hi, we're Maine and Gable.
Afternoon radio hosts on Family Life.
A lot of times there are things we want to talk about,
but they're topics we wouldn't necessarily bring to the show.
Can't say that on Christian radio.
I don't know about you, but I am not drawn to cranky Christians. They're not the kind of people I want to hang out with.
I have friends who grew up in church, and we went to the same vacation Bible schools together, and they've turned away from the church. They don't see the mercy and the love and the Jesus. They see the cranky church people. And I feel so bad that the Jesus I know is being masked by that. So if I can at all communicate in a way that makes sense to them, I want to do that.
Can't say that on Christian radio.
It's a new Family Life original podcast.
Coming September 16th.
Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Or stream now at familylife.org/podcast.
That bought with blood, oh, hearted
listening to the radio, through your computer, or on your smartphone or smart speaker. We just want to say thank you. This is Family Life.
I've never seen a morning the sun forgot to rise. In every single detail, you're faithful every time. I've never lived a moment that you weren't by my side. 'Cause you've never made a promise, turned around and changed your mind. You've never left me in the cold, never hurt me or let me go. You never have before, and you won't start now. You won't start now. I know I won't be on my own, whatever comes. You've never let me walk alone, not even once, and you won't start now. I'll never be abandoned in the dead of night. I'll never have to worry if I'll be alright. I'll never have to wonder if I'm on your mind. I'll never see a breakthrough come that isn't right on time. You've never left me in the cold, never hurt me or let me go. You never have before, and you won't start now. You won't start now. I know I won't be on my own, whatever comes. You've never let me walk alone, not even once, and you won't start now. Start now. You won't start now. I know I won't be on my own, whatever comes. You've never let me walk alone, not even once, and you won't start now. No, you never let me down. I know I won't be on my own, whatever comes. You've never let me walk alone, not even once, and you won't start now. You won't start now.
The 5 o'clock report is brought to you in part by support from Driven Automotive on Front Street in Binghamton, New York. They offer pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and cars. The website is drivenautony.com.
Listening to Family Life, a friend you can turn to. 88.5 WCII Spencer, 90.9 WCDR LaPorte. Find other signals in this area or listen online with the Family Life Now mobile app or at familylife.org. Next on the 5 o'clock report.
Such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Parents have already started to be up in arms about this.
Young women, they don't value having children.
Having males in a girl's locker room or vice versa can drastically change someone's opinion about their body.
Family's everything. We got you, bud.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. Fallout after Israel launched strikes on a major U.S. ally today, Qatar, assassinating 5 Hamas leaders.
For the very first time, Israel has struck Doha, Qatar.
CBS News on the ground.
Explosions rocked the Qatari capital of Doha, sending smoke into the sky and tensions even higher.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just spoke.
They perpetrated the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Now, they were meeting in the same place, exactly the same place, where they they celebrated this savagery almost 2 years ago.
Qatar was a mediator in talks to end the war in Gaza and now says it will not participate in further negotiations for now. Reporter Ramy Asensio.
This does call into question, though, if some or if many or potentially even all of Hamas's senior leadership have been killed. Where does that leave negotiations if there is no one, at least high level, to talk to?
President Trump had a swift response.
The president spoke to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar. He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
Cities across the United States are pushing back against President Trump's ramp up of immigration enforcement. In Chicago,
we don't need no troops over here.
The Department of Homeland Security says Operation Midway Blitz will target criminal aliens who flock to the Windy City because of sanctuary policies.
We will not be intimidated.
In Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass was angered by the 6-3 decision Monday by the U.S. Supreme Court in Trump's favor that gave ICE agents more power to question immigrants.
The Supreme Court has undermined the rights of millions.
And in Pennsylvania, Governor Josh Shapiro says his office will be prepared if President Trump deploys National Guard troops to the Commonwealth.
I think what the president's doing is wrong. I think what the president's doing injects chaos in communities, and I can tell you that we are prepared should he decide to try that here.
Philadelphia is on the short list of cities the Trump administration may send troops to help curb violence. Constitutional law scholar Mark Smith breaks it all down.
There's over 2 million illegal aliens in the Los Angeles area. ICE are the experts on this topic. They know what to look for, and it's under federal statutory law, unambiguous, that you can briefly detain someone to ask them a series of questions if you reasonably suspect that they're in the country illegally.
The cost of COVID. New data out at midnight last night shows reading scores for high school seniors nationwide are at a 20-year low post-pandemic.
Parents have already started to be up in arms about this. You see parents who are now going to school board meetings. They're more involved in school board elections. They're paying more attention to the curriculum that their children are being taught because they're looking at these scores and they're saying, we have to improve this.
Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon spoke with Fox News about it.
We're spending a ton of money on education. We've spent $3 trillion since the Department of Education was established, only to see scores continuing to decline. That's a trend we have to stop.
McMahon says there's too much government. She says cash for education needs to go back to the states.
I think the money's not being spent where it needs to be spent, and that's at the states. And that's why the president and I are certainly on a mission to return education to the states.
Tennessee is now the first state in the nation to mandate gun safety training for public school students. The new law addresses gun-related tragedies and accidental shootings. Students will learn basic firearm safety practices. The curriculum will be carried out by each school district and will not involve real guns or ammunition. And a new NBC News poll shows Gen Z men rank getting married and having kids much higher on their priority list than Gen Z women do. Charlie Kirk with Turning Point USA.
If you look deeper into this data, it's completely consistent with other data we've seen the last couple of years. Young women, they don't value having children. And this is one of the reasons why we are seeing a fertility collapse in the West. We're seeing less and less young people get married. We're seeing more and more people go into their 30s to have children.
Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, a quarter mile of a Pennsylvania neighborhood evacuated today. One school board stands up to the transgender movement and honoring our soldiers. A massive gravestone cleaning project complete. Those stories after weather.
I am Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast for tonight. Beautiful evening. It'll be cool to chilly again overnight, and again, there'll be patchy fog in the usual suspect valley locations. Late and low temperatures, 40s and low 50s generally. Then for tomorrow and Thursday, good deal of sunshine, some patchy cloudiness now and again, and seasonally warm with high temperatures ranging in the 70s to near 80.
Thank you, Kevin. Checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania State Police evacuated a Lebanon County neighborhood to remove explosives today. WGAL reporter Sarah Met.
Pennsylvania State Police evacuated this area as they worked to remove those explosive devices. They actually called it a post-blast radius. Troopers say that they have their HDES unit on scene, which actually stands for Hazardous Device and Explosive Section.
Here is what we know. The PSP evacuated residents within a quarter-mile radius of a home in Mill Creek Township near Erie. They held a press conference at 2 p.m. saying the site is now safe, but they're not giving any other information. We'll keep you posted as more is released. Protesters have set up shop outside a U.S. Customs and Border Protection office in central New York. They're demonstrating against recent ICE raid at a family-owned business in Cayuga County. 70 Latino workers were taken away last week during a surprise law enforcement operation.
It's scary. It's traumatizing for sure.
Humans deserve rights, and we need to enforce that for them. We have to be the voice for those that are voiceless.
I know how hard it is, and I became a citizen about 9 years ago, and I understand the plight of so many of these people.
The Cayuga County Sheriff says the raid was the result of an investigation into felony-level crimes. The Berwick, Pennsylvania School Board has approved 2 new policies on transgender issues. One mandates students use the restrooms and locker rooms of their sex at birth, the sex that appears on their birth certificate. This student supports that policy in the name of privacy.
Having males in a girl's locker room or vice versa can drastically change someone's opinion about their body, making them feel even more self-conscious than we already are. I support the policies being voted on tonight.
The other district decision mandates transgender students get permission from their parents before any name change is adopted at school. District resident Daniel Jensen likes the sound of that.
These are children that you should be loving on for the gender that they are. Teach your little boys to grow up and be men. Teach your little girls to grow up and be good women. You don't try to coerce them into some other gender.
No word yet when the new policies take effect. And volunteers in one Pennsylvania town just wrapped up a 2-year effort to refurbish 1,300 gravestones at the Pennsylvania Soldiers and Sailors Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Volunteer Mary Jane Koenig told Jet TV in Erie.
I always wanted to honor these veterans and all veterans. These veterans that rest here in this cemetery. It's the only Pennsylvania state military cemetery, and now it just looks beautiful. I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
Volunteer coordinator Ken Vribel.
It guarantees that people will spend time, pay attention to our veterans, long after they've stopped serving and long after they've been buried with us.
Next at 5, a man from Walton, New York is heading to the World Indoor Kite Flying Championships in China next month. Our own Mark Webster sat down with kite expert Mike Stellagros. Let's listen in.
It seems like a real non sequitur, kite flying indoors. How does that even work?
It's very lightweight kites. My kite is about 2 foot by about 3 foot, and it weighs 9 grams. That's about as much as a nickel and a penny put together.
That's pretty light. And I guess it has to be light since you don't have what you usually have to power a kite, which is the wind.
Correct.
You then supply the power? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I supply the power. So I am constantly moving, but I'm not running. It's a very slow walk, and you just guide the kite by pulling on the line or letting it out. The faster you pull the line, the higher it climbs. Then by maneuvering the kite, you can make it do different tricks.
How in the world did a guy from Walton, New York, wind up getting into this?
I used to own a gymnastics equipment supply company, and I was supplying equipment to an event in Wildwood, New Jersey. And I was in one convention hall, and they had indoor kite flying in the other convention hall. And I walked through the door. They told me about it. They let me try it out with one of their kites, and I was hooked. That was about 15 years ago.
I had not heard about indoor kite flying. How widespread is this in America and the rest of the world?
In America, it's not real widespread. In the kiting community, people know about it. The numbers nationwide are not huge, but in the rest of the world, it's very popular.
Oh, interesting. How big of a space do you need to do this?
A basketball court is perfect. I work on 30 feet lines, so a 25-foot ceiling and a basketball court really works out well.
Now, you not only got into this as kind of a fun thing to do, but you actually do it competitively. Tell me about that.
You put routines together to music, and you're judged based upon how well you maneuver your kite and make it do different elements. There are not required elements. You just make up your own routine. They want to judge you on how well it goes with the music and audience appreciation.
It has some ties then maybe to your gymnastics background. It sounds a little bit like maybe rhythmic gymnastics, or at least a cousin to it.
A cousin to it, sure.
What sort of tricks can you do with an indoor kite?
One of the difficult ones that I do is I make the kite fly about 2 inches above the ground for a full circle. You make it do turns on its axis. I do what I call a lasso, where I make it look like I'm swinging a lasso, and it goes over my head and over to either side. So there's a number of things that I can do with my single line kite.
I think if I tried something like that, I'd wind up like Charlie Brown flying his kite.
Oh, it happens. It happens. I've had my glasses get caught on the line. I tripped and fell one time and hit my head on the floor and had to get stitches.
I did not realize indoor kite flying was such a dangerous activity.
Neither did I.
That's Mike Stulligros, who's heading to the Indoor Kite Flying Championships in China next month. If you want to hear the full interview, you can subscribe, listen to, and share this feature and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Sometimes the wisest move is to wait. Hi, I'm Rob West with the Faith and Finance Minute. Here's a word of advice for high school graduates and their parents. It won't fit every situation, so take it for what it's worth. Don't rush into college. Consider taking a gap year first. There are 3 key benefits. First, working for a year can help you earn money and reduce future college debt. Second, a year on the job helps build real-world skills like discipline, responsibility, and perseverance that will serve you well in college and beyond. Third, taking extra time to reflect gives you space to make wiser decisions about where to go and what to study. If college feels like it's coming too fast, a short, intentional pause might help you move toward greater clarity, confidence, and long-term financial wisdom. Get biblical answers to your financial questions in the Faith Fi community. Download Faith Fi, Faith and Finance in your app store or visit faithfi.com.
Coming on the 5 o'clock report, launching a teenager. A lot of us are feeling it right now, but perhaps not as much as Archie Wilson. His story after weather.
Hi, I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. Oh, the beat goes on. More tranquil, pleasant conditions are ahead in the pattern that'll carry us through the rest of the work week. Our next chance of rain not coming till about Sunday, Monday. That's when a cold front will approach. Our call for tonight, beautiful evening. It'll be cool to chilly again overnight. And again, there'll be patchy fog in the usual suspect valley locations. Late and low temperatures, 40s and low 50s generally. Then for tomorrow and Thursday, good deal of sunshine. Some patchy cloudiness now and again. And seasonally warm with high temperatures ranging in the 70s to near 80. And comparable conditions are expected for Friday and for Saturday as well.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Finally at 5, family love. There was a neat moment after a Nebraska Cornhuskers game this past weekend. Archie Wilson is a 19-year-old football player recruited from Australia. He lost his composure, though, when the press asked him about his mom, dad, and 2 younger brothers at home.
Yeah, I love it a lot.
His emotional interview going viral.
Yeah, that's the tough part about being here. I love them a lot and I miss them.
Halfway around the world, his parents, Jessica and Lee, were surprised to see the interview when they woke up.
All of a sudden the question came, and then the tears from all of us as well. But we knew he was fine.
And it's nice as parents to know that the state of Nebraska loves him and looks after him, and the people are here to help him.
Then days ago, after months apart and 28 hours of travel, his entire family came out for Saturday's home opener. Fans reacted to the family reunion.
Family's everything. We got you, bud.
It was so heartwarming and just like touching.
It was cool to know that they were out there enjoying it at the same time as I was.
A 19-year-old's first time away, but feeling the love of mom and dad. And that's the world that we live in for Tuesday, the 9th of September. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
The 5 o'clock report was sponsored in part by support from Driven Automotive on Front Street in Binghamton, New York. They would like to share Mark 8:36. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul?
His love endures forever.
listening to Man and Gable, weekday afternoons on Family Life. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day.
I don't know what to do. God, it's too much for me. Heaven knows I've tried. Oh, I've tried everything. I've tried 1,000 times, but I can't do this by myself. By myself. God, I need your help. I need your help again. In this moment, I'm as desperate as I've ever been. There is no one else will do. You're my savior, and that's why I'm crying out to you. God, I need your help. God, I need your help.